What's up, guys? Hopefully, by now you've listened to the cover EP. If not, then the link is below to listen to it. But I mean, even if you haven't heard it, today I'm just going to kind of talk about my mindset and going through the process of each song. Because if you guys have heard the original version of any of these songs, you'll know that they're quite different than the covers that I went with. All of these songs, this whole EP for me was not only a bit of a practice in songwriting, but mainly actually a practice in getting familiar with the recording process, as well as the mixing, the mastering, and just working with Logic Pro, which is the DAW that's playing recording my audio right behind me. Of course, the ultimate hope being that I use all the knowledge I've gained from recording and making this particular project and translate it to making my own original music with it. Starting with the first song, Jeffrey's Farm, which is actually a cover of Bob Dylan's classic song Maggie's Farm. I actually heard this song completely by chance for the first time. I was driving home late one night and my phone was like dead, so I was forced to listen to the radio. And this song called Maggie's Farm started playing, and I just really resonated with it right away. To me, Maggie's Farm is like the ultimate like fuck work song. Even though I've never worked on a farm before, I just totally 100% felt the attitude being portrayed in the song and felt it deeply in my soul. So my ultimate goal was to kind of bring the song into a newer day and age with something more relatable. And also, my cover is very heavily inspired by the live version of Maggie's Farm, which kind of has more of a drive to it, more hillbilly kick to it. And I try to retain all of that while also keeping it kind of modern, like I said, and just fun and more my style. So I had a lot of fun with that one. That one, I'm very happy with how it came out. The second song was actually a request from my friend Mystery. It's called Night Changes by One Direction. Now, I'm not the biggest One Direction listener or fan. Not to say anything bad about One Direction, but it's just never been my kind of music. It's not really made for me. But she had given me kind of a list of One Direction songs for me to go over and see what I might be interested in covering. Because last year I had actually released like a bit of a poll to see what might be interesting song suggestions to cover. And when I heard Night Changes, I immediately kind of had this vision for it of making it look, a lot more slower, dramatic, kind of bringing in a big, really big chorus. And yeah, I think that song honestly was the hardest to mix and master out of all of them. I had so much I wanted to do to make this sound so big, and I've honestly learned a lot of what not to do for the next time that I try to do something like this. But for what it is, I am pretty happy with how it came out. I think it's pretty cool. But I do hope that ultimately I was able to please the One Direction fans and was able to produce something that was nothing else kind of neat. The last cover is my personal favorite. It's going to, of course, be the classic Hard Day's Night by the Beatles. If anyone has ever owned a vinyl player like I do, you might be used to kind of messing with the speed settings on the record player and adjusting the speed of songs. Well, on YouTube, I'm sure you already know you can do the same thing with videos. So sometimes, because of me playing with vinyl record players in the past, I'll get inspired to do the same just listening to songs on YouTube. And one time was listening to Hard Day's Night and I slowed it down to like 0.75 speed, and I was like, ooh, I like that a lot more, the way it kind of hits and grooves. And so ever since I did that and heard it, I wanted to make my own original cover of it, original cover. And I really like how this one turned out. I think this one is the most me in terms of just kind of the velvety, fuzzy guitars. It's very wide. It's got a good long solo in it. Now, I'm not always a huge fan of like 10-minute solos or anything like that, but for this kind of song with the kind of drive and groove, it kind of felt like it just needed a 4 or 5 minute solo. And to my credit, not to hype myself up too much, but I think I did a pretty damn good solo on that. So I'm very, very happy with how Hard Day's Night turned out. That one, I think I'm honestly probably going to be listening to with pride for quite a while. Overall, I'm happy with how all of these came out. Like I said, it was mainly a learning experience, but like I mentioned earlier, there are things that I have learned not to do for future songs. So we're only moving up from here. I hope you guys stick around to see future projects. Gonna be doing more original music this year. I can't speak too much on it yet because there's just so much in the works, but I'm gonna definitely be putting out another video sometime by the end of this month. I'm thinking of doing something a little more chill, maybe even gaming related. We'll see. And I have a couple other bigger videos in the works. So thank you guys so much for sticking around. My links are down below for all my socials and for Bitter Critter stuff as well. And definitely keep an eye out for more Bitter Critter content on this channel soon. But until then, see you guys later.